Give me that chocolate. Give me that chocolate. Give me that chocolate. Hey, y'all, welcome back. Chocolate, 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 chocolate. Hey, y'all, welcome back. Today we're checking out 5 best things about living in the UK as an American. I think that's it. 5 best things about living in the UK. I got it right. Okay. Be sure to go to Girl Gone London and like and subscribe.
Hi, and welcome back to the Girl Gone London channel. Today I have 5 things that I love about living in the UK, as well as an announcement. Let's start with the announcement because things move fast around here. And last week I posted a video of me unscripted, unedited, and I thought everyone's gonna hate this and turn on me. And it turns out that you didn't. A lot of you actually liked it more than I expected, and so my new podcast channel was born. On this separate channel, you'll get more of me unscripted, rambling into a microphone about all the things that are in my head. It's kind of the real-er version of me. Here's a sneak peek of some of the things I've talked about in the last couple episodes.
Well, there's nothing I love more than a party that has an end time. It went off to water bottle heaven somewhere without, it just crawled under a bush somewhere probably to die like cats do. That got dark. How do I phrase this in a way that makes you think I'm not a complete psychopath? I'm not sure that's possible. I just feel like she could have found other options on land after she got on one of the lifeboats. And
Titanic.
I mean, I know it's supposed to be like the most romantic movie of all time. I just kept being like, you don't even know him.
I talk about everything from my thoughts on Titanic to why we should bring floppy disks back to why I lie to strangers on a plane. It's weird. It's all of the strange thoughts in my head, and if you're interested in checking it out, click in the link in the description below or in the comments. Now let's talk about 5 things that I love about living in the UK.
Y'all be sure to go to Girl Gone London and like and subscribe. And check out Frankly Frankie. Maybe that's her last name? Frank with an E on the end.
Now let's talk about 5 things that I love about living in the UK. Number 1, chocolate. The chocolate here is so much better than in America, and
I knew she was going to say chocolate because it was on the thumbnail. I hear it all the time. Y'all, we have this acid in our chocolate to make it shelf life extended. And it makes it taste like vomit. The Hershey guy thought that would be a great idea. And you know what? He was right. We bought it and we ate it and we still eat it all day long.
I love chocolate, so having access to better chocolate can only, well, it means good things for me, but also bad things for how many calories of chocolate I've eaten since moving here. In America, I love chocolate, but it's not so good that I'm just eating piles and piles of chocolate. But here I could pretty easily eat like 12 servings of a large Cadbury chocolate bar in one sitting. The chocolate here is smoother, it melts in your mouth more, it tastes a lot better, and that's one of the things that I love the most about living in the UK. Next on my list also has to do with...
Yeah, chocolate. Yo, I reacted to a video about the chocolate difference. It makes me angry that we have crap chocolate. Butyric acid. It has a tangy or sour flavor. This acid is a byproduct of a process called lipolysis, which breaks down fatty acids in milk to make it more shelf stable. Though manufacturers may also add it directly, Europeans often find this flavor unsettling, as it is also found in rancid butter and vomit. And it is not commonly found in European-style chocolates, which are made with milk heated at higher temperatures to produce a caramelized flavor. Oh, damn. Crap chocolate we got over here, y'all. Crap.
Eating, and it has to do with the wide variety of vegetarian and vegan options that are available across the UK. I've eaten vegetarian for a very long time, kind of since I was a child. I never really enjoyed meat, and it's sort of just progressed where I don't eat it anymore. And here in the UK, that's super easy to do. When you go out to a restaurant, there's almost always some sort of vegetarian or even a vegan option. And this seems like most restaurants these days should have a wider variety of options because there are plenty of people who don't eat meat, but in the US, especially in some states, they kind of look at you like you're crazy when you ask if there's anything without meat on the menu.
Really?
I can tell you that when I went to Texas, they were very confused as to why somebody wouldn't want all of the plentiful amounts of meat they had on offer. I wanted to try some macaroni and cheese, thinking this is going to be a safe bet, but it had bacon. So I think I just ended up eating some cornbread and calling it a day. And though I don't have food allergies, this also has to do for people with food allergies. There's a lot more option in the UK when it comes to gluten-free or dairy-free or free from certain allergens. Menus are more clearly labeled, and I just feel like it caters more to a wider variety of dietary needs. And you can also find this difference in the supermarkets. Head to an American grocery store, and yes, nowadays there are lots more options for fake meat or veggie or vegan options of things, but in the UK, I still feel like the shelves are more thoroughly stocked with different items. It's very easy to find the free from sections, whether that's free from gluten or free from egg or whatever it is. And I just feel quite happy living in the UK as a vegetarian, knowing that I'll have plenty of options.
I would have thought this would be the other way around. Because when I think of British cuisine, there's a lot of meat. And I mean, in America, I guess our stereotypical cuisine is like cheeseburgers and pizza and stuff like that. But we also have a big health food industry. In Texas, I could totally see that being an issue. Let's ask the robots. Please compare vegetarian culture between the USA and UK. Vegetarianism in the US is widespread but varies a lot by region. Okay, that makes sense. Cities like Los Angeles, that's where I am, New York, Portland, Austin, and Seattle are extremely veg-friendly. Okay, maybe that's why I'm in a place where it's friendly, so it's not an apparent difference to me. While more rural or traditional regions often center meals around meat, vegetarianism is well known, but in many areas it is still considered a lifestyle choice rather than a default option. United Kingdom. The UK generally has a stronger mainstream acceptance of vegetarianism. I'm surprised. It's more normalized across the country, not just in big cities. You'll meet a surprising number of lifelong vegetarians or families who regularly cook veggie meals even if they're not fully vegetarian. Wow. Well, okay. Now that I think of it, that does make sense because there are some places in the States where I could totally see if I went to a restaurant expecting a vegetarian option, there would be none. Restaurant and supermarket availability. The U.S. is excellent for vegetarian food if you're in the right place. Big cities have endless options. Chain restaurants, blah, blah, blah. Supermarkets differ wildly. Whole Foods. Oh, yeah, Whole Foods definitely has that kind of stuff. But in small rural stores, definitely not. In the UK punches way above its weight in veggie convenience. Even small pubs usually offer at least one solid vegetarian dish. Wow. The average UK grocery store is more consistently veg-friendly than the average US store. This is historical and cultural roots. Vegetarianism in the USA grew mostly from health movements, California wellness culture, 1960s counterculture, and animal rights activism. It's often tied to personal identity or wellness branding. In the UK, it has deeper institutional roots. The Vegetarian Society was founded in 1847, one of the oldest in the world. Wow, that's probably more than 100 years before it became a thing in the States. There's a tradition of meatless dishes tied to wartime rationing, churches, and early temperance movements. Okay, I see now. Many classic British foods, beans on toast, jacket potatoes, veggie pasties, cheese sandwiches, are already vegetarian by default. Well, that's the opposite of what I would have thought, but now I totally see it. Thank you for opening my eyes, Caitlin.
Next on my list, British people are very good at taking turns, and I really respect that. When it comes to lining up or when it comes to sort of knowing who was next in the queue, British people are very good at it. It's a very orderly system for the most part, unless you're transferring tubes at Oxford Street Station at rush hour, and then it's mostly tourists and all bets are off. But
Hell, I was just at the airport yesterday, and we were in line or in the queue to board the plane. We're all getting on the same plane. We're all going to leave at the same time. But this couple just broke line right in front of me. I couldn't believe it. It was a man and a woman. And the man had, part of his luggage was a military uniform. He was in the military. That's the least respectable military person I've ever met. Usually they're very respectable, polite, not cutting in line, kind of people. But that
Mostly, it's not really a pushing and shoving type of culture. It's typically one where you say, you first, no, you first, and then you go back and forth for ages, and then you take way longer than is necessary to get somebody to actually go, but it's much calmer and more orderly than I'm used to in the US. Americans, as a general rule, are not great at taking turns. And the next thing I love about living in the UK is that there are so many fewer things trying to take you out at all times. And I could be referring to natural disasters or to the wildlife. Growing up in Florida, I was very used to lightning, hurricanes, possibly tornadoes that can be spawned off of hurricanes, brain-eating amoebas, sinkholes, alligators, sharks, poisonous snakes. The list goes on, and whatever state you're in, there's usually something that is trying to take you out, whether it be a tornado or an earthquake or wildfires or other dangerous and deadly wildlife. In the UK,
That's, I was just talking to my mom the other day. She lives in a place called Cedar Key. It's like a little island in the Gulf of America, Mexico. And she has this house by the water, and there's this long, like, what do you call it? A walkway, like a boardwalk that goes out over the water, like a pier that goes from the house out over the water. Well, she was out there on the pier. There's a little, like, screened-in porch-like building thing just for sitting and hanging out. And she was just out there relaxing by the water, and then she starts to head back up to the house. There's a python crawling on the ledge of the house, like the roof, by the gutter, just undulating. A giant python, probably like 10 or 12 feet long. So she stayed on the pier for like a couple hours until that thing went away. She's also found alligators just lounging on the pier. It's crazy. Those things can kill you. Not to mention all the rattlesnakes and water moccasins. And hurricanes.
Overall danger level is for other dangerous and deadly wildlife. In the UK, the overall danger level is quite low, and that really does help with your heart rate when you leave the house. And last on my list is the museums. The museums across the UK tend to be very well funded and very fascinating and relatively inexpensive. Not all of them in all cities are free, but most of the major cities have amazing free museums that in America would be so unheard of. To be able to walk into somewhere like the British Museum and see the Rosetta Stone completely for free is just something that I think most British people don't actually recognize as something that's really, really special about the UK. And it's not just that museum, like I said, there are plenty of others in London and across major UK cities and smaller UK towns that are free and inexpensive to enter. The culture surrounding museums in the UK is alive and well and actually welcomes people in instead of charging $20, $25 or pounds per person. That can often be the case in America because there's not as much funding for these museums and for these cultural institutions that come from the government, so they rely on private people. You can have so many amazing free days out in the UK because of these museums and cultural institutions, and I think that's really cool. And that brings me to the end of this video.
That is very cool. I love a good museum. They do cost money. And even if they're free, they're going to make you pay for parking. I do know what she means, though. I think there are a lot of museums over in the UK. I've seen some videos about museums, and there are a lot of museums for things that you wouldn't expect a museum to be for. I wouldn't, anyway, being an American. Like, computers. Like, there's a computer museum. They had, like, an old Commodore 64, an old, like, I don't know, old 80s home computers. I don't think that would survive in America. And I've also seen a lot of these places where, what is it? Is it the Barclays building in London? They were digging up the foundation and they found a bunch of Roman ruins, so they turned it into a museum. I don't know if that would happen in America. I think they would just have dug it all up. London Mithraeum, Bloomberg Space. Bloomberg's European headquarters. Oh, it's Bloomberg, not Barclays. Yeah, I think this is it. Is it? If it's not, there's another one. Yeah, I don't think we would do that in America. I think we would have dug it up. I bet stuff like that gets found all the time in America, but the construction or the developers like, shh, dig it up, throw it away before any of those activists come around saying we can't dig here. Let's get this building built. Let's make that money. You know?
And that brings me to the end of this video. Comment below on what you love about the UK. Don't forget to check out my new podcast channel if you're interested, and I'll see you guys next time.
Y'all be sure to go to Girl Gone London and like and subscribe. Let's review. Okay, chocolate. Yeah, I knew that. Vegetarian options. Yeah, I had no idea. That totally flipped my perspective. Taking turns. Yes. Stuff trying to kill you. Yeah, we're fearful of death. Maybe that's why we don't wait our turn, because we're afraid of dying. We're trying to get to what we're trying to do before we die. Y'all, we're running from coyotes over here. Help us. Help me. Museums. Chocolate, vegetarian, taking turns, stuff trying to kill you. Museums. Those are the 5 things. I'm sure there's many more. Well, y'all be sure to go to Girl Gone London and like and subscribe. Brits win again. But I'd like to thank my patrons. I'd like to thank my Buy Me a Coffee folks. Thank y'all for watching this with me, and I'll see y'all next time. Later.